And now, the general weather around Alaska.
First graphic up. Today, the aviation weather and marine weather YouTube recordings will be unavailable on the following weekend dates: Saturday, June 8th and Sunday, June 9th, as well as Saturday, June 15th, tomorrow, and Sunday, June 16th. Some or all aviation and marine graphics will be unavailable on the web during this time. Surface maps and general weather segment will remain available. Normal production will continue on weekdays. And then up next here, the fire weather update for Friday. Today, June 14th, hot, dry fuels in northern interior meet with dry thunderstorms that may ignite multiple fires across the Yukon Flats today. Wet thunderstorms expand into southern Alaska today and tomorrow, though ignition potential is low. Significant drying trend begins today for most of the state. And the outlook: hot and dry conditions are expected over much of mainland Alaska this coming week. This will rapidly dry out forest fuels, increasing the likelihood of new starts. And from there, taking a look at our vantage point on the satellite imagery, or actually, we'll go right to the fire danger, or back it up one here. There's a high extreme fire danger warning out for the Yukon Flats and over toward the eastern interior for lightning, and that's out until 11 p.m. this evening. Otherwise, now looking at tomorrow's forecast of fire danger for spruce, we've got extreme, as it's been all week here, up over the Yukon Flats area, and a little bit to the southeast there, with increasing fire danger here expected to develop over the interior and gradually southwestward from what we've seen. And high to very high fire danger now popping up in the Susitna Valley, western Kenai Peninsula area there, and still some high fire danger in the central Copper River Basin locations. And from there, looking at satellite imagery here, a lot of clear skies here in North Gulf Coast into southern Alaska, down into the Alaska Peninsula and Bristol Bay area, even Kodiak Island, seeing some sun breaks today, as well as areas to the west here. But cloud band here right across the northern panhandle. Another cloud band right through here northway up toward Fairbanks and the mountains northeast of Fairbanks and to the east. Thunderstorms developing, slowly moving west-southwestward throughout the day today. And some of those thunderstorms laying down some pretty good precipitation. Chena had about half an inch of rain today from one of those thunderstorms, and several other locations seeing anywhere from a tenth to a quarter of an inch falling, and then other locations yet not seeing all that much. Dry back to the north, and again dry to the south here. A few clouds developing over the Talkeetnas, but nothing in the way of any thunderstorms yet. And then out over the Bering Sea, we've got some clouds here over the eastern Aleutians and a lot more clouds out to the west. And putting this in motion again, low pressure here spinning, kind of pulling off to the northeast there into the Chukchi Sea, putting some clouds into the western Arctic coastal area. And for the chart today, we've got this system bringing rain and gusty winds that spread into the eastern Aleutians, extending back to the west there to about Amchitka Island, with lighter winds behind the front occurring over Adak and Atka today. High pressure along the west coast here, keeping the central northern Bering Sea all the way down across the Alaska Peninsula in a light wind, dry weather pattern. And of course that translates to mostly sunny skies here over the western interior across southern Alaska. Lots of sunshine today down in toward Kodiak Island, Bristol Bay, and then some showers beginning to develop and thunderstorms here actually all day around the Denali Park area, and again thunderstorms here in the mountains north and northeast, the White Mountains, slowly shifting west-southwestward or to the southwest throughout the afternoon hours, and actually some shower activity and possible isolated thunderstorms developing up over the east or the Brooks Range here. And then this band of precipitation brought anywhere from a tenth of an inch to a third of an inch around Juneau here over the northern panhandle. Much less rain, but mostly cloudy skies on down to the south. And the thunderstorm outlook for today was for scattered thunderstorms here again off to the east and northeast of Fairbanks, with isolated thunderstorms down in the Copper River Basin and back up along the Yukon River there to just south of Anatuvik Pass. And also here the Susitna, Manuska Valley over the mountainous terrain, I should say, here into the Kenai Peninsula area. And for tonight, showers, isolated thunderstorms, and slowly here over the east side with just any remaining shower activity after midnight, mostly over the mountainous terrain. Otherwise dry, fair, very nice evening coming up across all of interior Alaska, and partly to mostly cloudy with light winds over the southeast coast. Rain continues from the Adak west eastward here to Unalaska, and dry with clearing here for the Alaska Peninsula. High pressure keeps the northern Bering Sea pretty nice there with light winds, and this system trying to push eastward but kind of getting shunted off to the north by this area of high pressure extending all the way into the Beaufort Sea there. And the forecast for tomorrow, you can see that moisture area takes off to the northwest or to the northeast, missing the western Arctic coast. This high pressure stays locked in over the northern Bering Sea here. Precipitation spreads a little farther north here but stays well west of the Pribilof Islands. Stays unsettled and wet for the Fox Islands all the way back across the Aleutian chain, as the interior stays partly to mostly sunny with, again, afternoon shower scattered thunderstorms developing. A little more development down over the Talkeetnas and the Kenai Peninsula and Chugach Mountains than what was seen today here for tomorrow afternoon into evening, and more scattered and isolated over the western Alaska range and mainly over the mountainous terrain of the Copper River Basin areas, but partly to mostly sunny skies for Prince William Sound, Turnagain Arm tomorrow, and then of course some of those clouds will increase in the afternoon as those showers develop over the mountains, but pretty nice, partly sunny here over the southeast coast with a risk of a shower over toward the Misty Fjords area, as most of the moisture now off into British Columbia. And thunderstorm outlook for Saturday. Isolated thunderstorms possible from Manitowoc Pass down to Fairbanks, possibly as far west as McGrath, and down into the Kenai Peninsula and the North Gulf Coast areas, and then eastward all the way in toward Northway and the Yukon. And the outlook for Sunday, another sunny, warm day. Actually, temperatures 80 to 85 for the highs here for the Yukon Flats down toward Fairbanks over toward Eagle, lower to mid 80s. And in the 70s everywhere else here down into south central Alaska, 60s out to the west, cooling course into the 40s, 50s along the coast there, but high pressure still over the northern Bering Sea, kind of redeveloping there near St. Lawrence Island, and that really results in no change in the pattern out here. And the Gulf of Alaska, partly mostly sunny skies, highs in the 70s, inland areas of the Kenai Peninsula, mid to upper 70s, the Sitna Valley, Copper River Basin, mid 70s, and a nice day for the southeast coast. And rain still trying to actually tapering off here for the eastern Aleutians. Showers and rain, low clouds, fog, that type of condition for the western and central Aleutian areas. That's about it. So moving on to the low temperatures, thunderstorm outlook for Sunday. Again, about the same for the about Manitowoc Pass down to McGrath, and now staying north of the Kenai Peninsula, so not looking for a reduction in the thunderstorm threat Sunday over what it'll be tomorrow here for the Kenai Peninsula area, but still a chance from the Talkeetna Mountains, northern Sitna Valley areas up toward Fairbanks and eastward into the Yukon. Now looking at the low temperatures tonight in the 40s and 50s over the interior, the warmest conditions here from Fairbanks up into the Yukon Flats, mid to upper 50s for the lows. Staying in the 50s here for south central Alaska, 30s for the Arctic coast and the Bering Sea, and 40s everywhere else. Highs tomorrow, mid 70s to lower 80s, central and eastern interior, north of the Alaska Range. Otherwise, mid to upper 70s, Copper River Basin, Susitna Valley, 60s, high 60s, or more likely just 70s everywhere over the Kenai Peninsula area, even down toward Homer, lower 70s, 74 for Seward, mid 70s, Copper River Basin, as I said, and 50s, 60s to near 70 for the southeast coast, and 40s out here to the west. Lows, 30s for the Arctic coast and North Slope for Sunday morning, 40s and 50s elsewhere. And then the highs for Sunday afternoon, 80 to 85 over the eastern interior, and upper 70s as you head down toward Delta Junction over to Northway and Tok, and upper 70s for the Copper River Basin, and 70 to 80 for south central Alaska, but 60s now for Kenai, and mid 60s for Homer, lower 60s for Kodiak, near 70 in the for the Bristol Bay area. Lower 70s now. Juneau on up towards Skagway and Haines. Otherwise in the mid to upper 60s. So a little warmer for the southeast coast on Sunday.